First stop, breakfast, down towards Wood Green. No? It's okay, great. Thank you. Morning. Today, the plan is to replace the, I think it's an 8-way 3781, you know, the old fuse board, and put in a split RCD consumer unit with SPDs. That's the first part. The second part is have a look at bonding, and there's a spur that is giving a very high resistance reading. I think something like 13 ohms or something like that for the loop test. So that might be late tonight or tomorrow morning. The main problem I've got now is I've got a lot of testing coming up with the second fix in East Ham Road, and I'm down to one MFT. So I'm going to have to fork out for at least one of the other MFTs, 1730, which are stupidly, I went and put alkaline batteries in, forgot about it, and tried charging. It's been on charge probably for the best part of the day with them in there, and it finally gave up the ghost yesterday. Well, it was working fine most of the day, and then it came up with that error 27. So I just hope that can be repaired. And the other one was giving dodgy readings before it packed up, so I have to just wait and see what comes of them, because I need 2 MFTs. Now, the man you saw when I was coming in, I think he's the owner here, and he also owns the bank, which is a cafe over there. The bank, which is another restaurant. Apparently when they were they had a load of electrical problems here. They couldn't run all the equipment. It sounds like the load was too high, and it would cause everything to trip when they put a coffee machine on, say. Went on for months, and they had electrician after electrician out. The only thing that they heard was that the first electricians had done it wrong. When they put this place up, they had to replace all the glass. They took the glass and put it in his house instead. But apparently it cost an utter fortune. So here's the fuse board. I'm just going to put the camera battery on charge for a bit while I strip this out. And yeah, so have a bit of a clear out of this. There's a load of dead mouse bodies and stuff down here. It really stinks. On the plus side, my knees seem to have been self-cleaning overnight. Not on my bedclothes. I pulled my socks up like that, and they're self-cleaned. So that's on the plus side. Unfortunately, I need standoffs for the consumer unit, and I need them out by 2 inches, so I'm going to have to cut threaded rods. So I've come out here to see, yeah, I do have some M8. Well, it's time for my trusty polyester resin anchor. Earlier on I dropped a captive M5 nut, which is needed to screw the consumer unit onto the skeletal base. Thought I lost it because it went down behind the tongue and groove there. And it's one of these, it's this one here. But I've got a couple of these in the van, these extendable magnet bases. And I just shoved it down there and I got the washer out that I dropped and the captive nut. So that just shows the use of these things. I bought a couple of them a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, and haven't used them yet, in earnest. Tested the ring circuits and now I've got 3 light circuits, sorry 4 light circuits. One is okay because they're just bayonet fit. The rest are these office lights, a bit more tricky. So what I've done is I've gone up into the hung roof, hung ceiling, and pulled out a junction box there, and then here I've got to make a new junction box and split the cable. Here's a conundrum. I'm not sure what to do. I shouldn't reconnect this really. I've come across this junction box. I'll show you what it's like. So you've got no earth sleeving, bare basic insulation on all of it, and also I've got between neutral and earth only 0.15 mega ohms. The one down the other side of this, I've also got 0.15 on line to earth, and on this one the line to earth is fine, and R1 R2 is okay, but I shouldn't reconnect that one, and because of the neutral earth and the insulation resistance and the state of this junction box, I shouldn't really reconnect this one either. But to rewire this is more than I'm able to do in the time allocated before they need to come back in. So I don't know. What I'm struggling with here is the end of line for the third light circuit, cutting these to restitch together back in a new junction box so that this goes to the last light, so that I can just test the length of the line without disturbing these luminaires, because I've just had one fall out of the ceiling. They don't fit very well, and they're very delicate. It can be bent easily. So I'm going to test on the end of this line the R1, R2 and the insulation resistance. So we're going to redo that R1, R2 test now. I had the green lead was joined onto the neutral by mistake, so 0.58, there we go, 0.58. And I just need to make up that junction box. In the end, I've done the lighting tests, and they're not particularly satisfactory. I've got IR readings below 0.1 mega ohm. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do about that. The reason they weren't done during the EICR was access during working hours here. So it's the first time those light circuits, and I mean the rings were all fine, it's the first time that the light circuits have been tested. And it's the day that I come to put the new fuse board in. In any event, if the light circuits are connected, they're safer than they were before, because we've got the RCDs, but my suspicion is that the RCDs won't hold with those light circuits connected. So we'll just have to wait and see. Is back in, and it's time to switch on. And the lights are working, and we've got no RCD activity. Just got the RCD tests to do now. There's quite a mess here. But I've got the RCD tests to do and the labelling to do, clear up, and then the spur at the back of the building with the high ZS. I've got to go and do something to that. I may leave that till tomorrow. As a matter of interest, my knees have virtually completely self-cleaned now. But from yesterday, I haven't cleaned them at all. I haven't washed them, but they're self-cleaned. Here's the culprit for the spur. This is plugged in to the boiler. If you can see that, the amount of green on that. And then this is all rusted up. And of course, when I was taking off the completely seized up, look how green it all is, the completely seized up socket, of course the screw broke off in the patras box. So I've now got to drill it out. So I had to go back to the van and get my 1-2mm drills to try and drill out that lug, which has got half a brass patras screw stuck in it. Get another picture of my self-cleaning knees here. So cleaned up the green on the copper without changing the plug, which I don't want to get into. So you need a proper electrician for that. So now we're just going to try and drill this out. Just patch a screw. I don't know what electricians did in the days before cordless tools. This is not going to be easy at all, because it's not a regular flat head on there. But on the other hand, it's brass, so it's nice and should be nice and soft. Am I going to need to centre punch it? Maybe not. Or maybe I am. Will I be able to screw it up afterwards? That's the thing. Ah, there. Happily it all went in, and that's all quite shiny now. So what I'm going to do is test the ZS at the end of this cable where the boiler takes it. We're looking at something better than 50 ohms. Great. That's a proper ZS, not 20 ohms like it was before. So there we go. We've cured the boiler problem. I'm stopped off at Whitley Services again, and on my way down to stop off at someone's house in Eltham, I crossed through the Blackwall Tunnel, and I got a phone call from the burglar alarm wouldn't turn on. So I stopped off in Eltham and waited for a call, because I thought I was going to have to go back and sort something out, but it turned out that everything was fine, and so now I'm just stopping for a coffee, and I should be back at the office in an hour and a half or so. So I'll see you back there.